What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna wait about 5 to 10 seconds until everybody gets into the live stream to explain what I'm going to explain. Please share, tag somebody in this, or listen to what I'm about to say. You can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. Check out my website, legendary.vision. Follow along at Facebook or Twitter, Legendary Energy. Give me about 5 more seconds for people to get into the live stream. And I want to talk about something that's been going on. You're going to see it everywhere. You're going to see it on social media and on TV. So, for a long time, Mark Zuckerberg, for the last 2 weeks, would not give over the data for Facebook. It's his company. It's a private company. He has data on everybody, and he doesn't just give them willingly to the government whenever they ask for it. So, the big story is after the election that Russia influenced the election totally, and they've been trying every single angle. I want to remind the people that think this is new. This $50,000 worth of Russian company ads, it's not even been proven or, even remotely, no evidence that it was the Russian government, just a Russian company running Russian ads on the election. I mean, you think no other country was running ads that had to do with the election to just maybe, gain some leverage for their company because everybody was focused on the election? It's absolute bananas, but this did not start last year. They admitted in their emails that they were going to use this as a big shield because they had the biggest Russia connections, but every story that they've pushed with Russia has fallen apart. So this is the new one. It's not like they started this last year and Mark Zuckerberg's been hiding. First it was that Russia hacked the election, and then a group of old NSA and CIA guys came together and said, you know what, actually that leak came from inside. The email leak didn't come from the Russians, it came from somebody inside who took it on a USB or a hard drive. So that story collapsed. That's why you don't hear Russia hack the election anymore, because evidence came out from old intelligence agency people that the leak came from inside. So that destroys their whole narrative. They're not talking about that anymore. They're not talking about the fact that 17 intelligence agencies said that it happened, because 17 intelligence agencies never said that it happened. That was a fake story that was pushed aggressively by CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post. Never happened. The Washington Post published a big article that said, Russia hacked the Vermont utility grid. Breaking news, Russia is trying to hack into the United States power. That story fell apart because that was a fake story from the beginning, 100% fake, made up, penned, created, blasted to everybody. So those are 4 fake stories on Russia. Big stories, not little stories, huge stories. Russia hacked the election and hacked John Podesta's emails. That's been proven to be false by a group of intelligence agencies officials who are dedicated to the truth. So you'll never hear that again, because if they bring that up, they're going to find out that the leak actually came from inside. And that destroys their whole narrative, just like any sort of truth destroys their whole narrative, which is what they ran their whole billion-dollar failed campaign on, was a bunch of lies. And now they're doubling down on the lies. And these people will stop at nothing. They want complete internet control. They lied about Russia hacking the Vermont utility grid to millions of people. They lied and told everybody that United States, anybody that doesn't say Hillary Clinton's the best and Donald Trump's the worst, they think is a Russian spy. That's how delusional they are. I don't know if they know it or not, but they want complete control. It's not enough to them that people like InfoWars and Breitbart have a opposite opinion. I don't even read InfoWars or Breitbart when it comes to news, but I know they're not Russian spies. They're Americans who are, either you can call them libertarian or right-wing or Republican, whatever you want to call them. They're not Russian. But that's how delusional that these people are that lost the election. They lied about everything. They spent $1.2 billion worth of ads. And now they're going to blame, after saying that the Vermont utility grid was the reason, after saying that the emails were the reason that Russia hacked the emails, after saying that, oh my God, they influenced this, they own Breitbart and InfoWars. Those 2 American news sources got investigated for Russian connections because they think that anyone who talks like me, anybody who talks like someone like Jimmy Dore, anybody even who talks like the Young Turks, I'm not even a huge fan of the Young Turks. I find them to be very dishonest and very, pandery to lead people in the wrong direction. Personally, I'm not a fan of the Young Turks, but I know they're not Russian spies. I know they're American citizens with their own opinion. But the people who lost the election they don't ever want to believe this. They want to think that everybody who doesn't think like them must be working with Russia. There's no way that millions of people can like Donald Trump. There's no way that millions of people could like Bernie Sanders and just don't like Democrats. They don't like Hillary Clinton. They don't like John Podesta. They don't like Barack Obama. They don't like Democrat Kamala Harris or whoever. They don't like the Democratic Party. These people can't fathom that. And if you hate Donald Trump, once again, this is a warning. This is not about Russia. It's not about Russia. It's not about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. This is about freedom of speech, internet freedom, and complete control by a corporation, a group of people, shadow elites, the intelligence agencies, past politicians that already own all of the media attention. What did you hear during the whole election? Did you hear, oh my God, Donald Trump's the best, Donald Trump's the best? The real rigging came from the other side. They rigged everything. They rigged the whole media. Admittingly, in their own documents, they cheated Bernie Sanders. There was a lawsuit to prove it. Bernie Sanders was strategically cheated. The media was against him. People in the Democratic Party were taking CNN questions and handing them to Hillary, cheating, rigging the election for Hillary. It's admitted in their own papers, in their own admittings, that they purposely elevated Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, they purposely elevated Donald Trump. They used all their media connections to boost him up, and then blamed white women and deplorables and working class people and, Uncle Toms and coons and everybody who, of race, religion, and gender who doesn't agree with them. You're a sellout. Oh, you're a bad Muslim if you don't think like I do. But they elevated it. The people pointing the finger at us now, just normal people with thoughts, they were the ones who got Donald Trump there. And then they were like, okay, we cheated Bernie Sanders. We elevated Donald Trump. So here's Hillary. We're going to hide Hillary. We're going to use the media. We're going to use celebrities. We're going to use Jay-Z. We're going to use Beyonce. And she's going to win. And then they lost. They spent $1.1 billion. And you think $50,000 worth of Facebook ads that are unconfirmed. It's not even the Russian government. They're saying a Russian company. So now we're going to destroy our relations with every other country because Hillary Clinton lost. No internet freedom. Progressives, you can't talk about Bernie Sanders. You can't talk about single-payer health care. You can't talk about, stopping the wars because that's Russia. If you're left-leaning and you don't say what MSNBC and you don't repeat the CNN lies and the MSNBC lies and the New York Times lies and the Washington Post lies, but you want to be a liberal, you're Russian. If you want to be conservative or libertarian and you want to talk about freedom of speech, you can't think that way. That's not you with those thoughts. That's Russia. Russia must have influenced you to think that way. Even though you've thought that way for the past 30 years of your life, they want you to believe, they want people to believe that that's Russia doing that. Notice they never talk about what Russia said. Notice they never talk about what the content was because they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the content. Is it truthful? Is it honest? Or is it dishonest? Because their whole scheme is lie, and control the whole system. Control the whole media system. There's a reason that you never hear a back and forth dialogue between a smart Democrat and a smart Republican. There's a reason you never hear a smart dialogue between a smart Muslim and a smart Christian. There's a reason that you never hear a real dialogue between a progressive and a libertarian, and they put them on CNN, and then everybody watches and millions of people tune in and be like, you know what? Wow, I did learn something from that progressive. Oh, wow, I did learn something from that conservative. Maybe they're not all neo-Nazis and white supremacists. They don't do that because their whole system, their whole foundation relies on control and lying to everybody. I know it's a hard concept for a lot of people. Half the country knows now. Half the country knows, wow, they were lying about a lot of things. You follow Donald Trump a little bit, you follow Bernie Sanders, you follow progressive or independent journalists, and, you look at the truth, now you read the real newspapers, and you're like, wow, they are just completely making up stories. It's a fact. I mean, it's not just that they're skewing perspective, they're making up complete stories. It's like if I got up here and I had control, if I was the New York Times and the Washington Post and everybody trusted and respected me, and then I got bought out by Jeff Bezos, the richest person in the world, and then I was like, hey, Pakistan hacked the Dunkin' Donuts down the street and they stole all the money. And then I blasted out to everybody and everyone's like, oh my God, Pakistan hacked the Dunkin' Donuts and stole all the money from the Dunkin' Donuts. And then they tell some, oh my God, did you hear the story? I mean, Anomaly said it, Jeff Bezos said it, the Washington Post said it. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts got hacked by Pakistan and stole all the money. And then you find out 3 months later that Pakistan never hacked the Dunkin' Donuts and stole all the money. That whole story was fake. That's what fake news is. It's not, oh, I don't like Donald Trump and he doesn't like me, so he's attacking me. And oh my God, conservatives and progressives and libertarians are so upset at the truth. It's they're literally making complete fake stories and everybody believes it. I mean, that's what's been happening. That's why Donald Trump won, because people caught on to the lies. And Donald Trump makes flip-flops sometimes, but he's more honest, more blunt, and more straightforward than other presidents. That's why he won. Their old model of lying and system control just isn't working anymore. It's not working. Hillary Clinton didn't do a press conference in hundreds of days. You think that didn't influence an election? Running for the president of the free world and you're not even doing press conferences? I mean, how stupid could you be to think that Russia influenced that? They spent $1 billion, more ads than ever. You look at a chart, they did less policy and more personal attacks than any presidential candidate ever. Do you think that might have influenced the election a little bit? $1.1 billion to make America mentally unstable, telling all women that feminism is liking Hillary Clinton, when that's not what feminism is? Telling all people in the world that neo-Nazis and white supremacists are going to take over if you don't win the election, and that now Russia's hacking the election and this is happening and all these things. They spent billions of dollars to lie to people. So I'm going to send a friendly warning to people on all sides of the political spectrum. If you want any sort of freeness, because right now, there's barely any freedom. I love it. I'm blessed. Thank you so much. I believe in Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg got shammed. He got threatened probably or guilted into doing this Russia stuff. He wasn't trying to give up his Russia data because he didn't want to. But guess what? The people that are threatening Mark Zuckerberg or guilting Mark Zuckerberg into giving his data to the Russian council, he's doing it, one, because it's probably nothing, and then it's going to be on to the next Russia story and the next Russia story, and all the dum-dums are going to keep running in circles. It's not a little bit surprising to you that it went from Trump colluded with the Russian campaign, have no evidence, and then they said, oh wait, no, Trump didn't collude, we got hacked. Oh wait, no, we didn't get hacked, the grid got hacked. Oh no, the grid didn't get hacked, it was Paul Manafort. Oh wait, he was spied on. Oh wait, it's Facebook ads, it's $50,000 worth of Facebook ads is nothing. I reach more people in 3 days organically than people who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars because they suck at telling the truth, because they suck at content. They're not good content creators. It's not Russia's fault, it's not Donald Trump's fault, it's not Mark Zuckerberg's fault. Stop sucking. Very easy. But Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook have more power than these people who are attacking them with the Russian council. These are old politicians. These are old elites who are losing power. They're losing power every which way. They lost the White House. They don't own Facebook. Bitcoin is out and it's threatening the currency system. You have them losing power all sorts of ways, so they're freaking out. They're saying, it's the Russians, it's Trump, it's Zuckerberg. No, it's just evolution. It's human nature, it's humanity growing and thriving. Mark Zuckerberg has more power than these people who are attacking. That's why he's like, here, take this data and get the F out of my face. I might run for president. Mark Zuckerberg has impressed me. I think he's a decent guy now because he didn't run like Google. Google might as well be them. They completely sold out. They're like, here, take my data. Here, you can have the searches. And keep in mind, nothing about Facebook right now is really unbiased. So they're trying to take everything from Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook used to be an open platform that was just a social media. Then they added news to the side. So now it's not just a social media site, it's a leading news site. People get, probably a majority of people, maybe more so than even TV, actually definitely more so than TV, they get their news from the Facebook side screen. And if you do any sort of research and know what's going on and, see all sides and really read all sides of the political spectrum, you find out that Facebook is lying in their news stream. So Facebook's not even, it's not like they're Trump supporters or freaking conservatives. They're already sold out to the elites. They're already lying on behalf of the elites every day. But this is how bad these people are. the Russia Council elites, the Republicans and Democrats who have been shilling on behalf of higher powers for the past 30 years, of course they're going to be mad at Donald Trump. He came and did what they could never do. They've been selling their souls like little rats. They've been selling out to corporations in foreign countries for 40 years, being like, oh, I can't wait to get this power. Oh, I sold my soul 40 years ago to be president. And then Donald Trump comes through, doesn't do any of that, and rises above all of them. Of course they're all going to be bad. Of course Bernie Sanders is going to be bad. He spent the past 50 years being a politician, and someone just stomped all over him. That's why they're all mad. John McCain, he's like, I'm mad because I spent the last 60 years starting wars and selling out to the elites, and now you come through and tell the truth. I haven't been able to tell the truth. Why are you telling the truth? But anyway, Facebook, they're already lying 24/7 for the establishment. Pretty much all their featured stories, they're never true. They're already pushing their lies on a mass scale. But that's not enough. They had to continue to blame Mark Zuckerberg. They're going to crack down on Mark Zuckerberg until they steal his whole platform, because they know he has more power than they have. He knows that internet content creators like Alex Jones or, Paul Joseph Watson or Mark Dice or Jimmy Dore or the Young Turks or anybody, whether they're right-leaning or left-leaning or Anomaly or, Red Pill Black, they know that we have more influence and control than they do. They know this, so they're going to use every excuse in the book to try to steal that. I came from nothing. I came from a small room. I came from a small apartment building. I came from having no space. I didn't come from an elite family where I had a playground and, 5 basements to stay in and all this space and all this equipment. I came from nothing. Everything I built, everything I have, I earned. I worked 80 times as hard as the elites and the wealthy class to get what I had. But that's not enough. They want to take that from me. Oh, you have a 1-bedroom apartment now? Oh, I want that. Oh, you have a platform now that I want that. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg, you have a website that I want that. Oh, Paul Joseph Watson, I want that. They want everything. They don't want me to think. They don't want you to think. They want to steal every last bit of power and control from the people. All I have is this Facebook platform. I worked 8 years to gain this. They don't want me to have this. They don't want Mark Zuckerberg to be an honest, decent person. Like, hey, I'm not going to sabotage my relationship with every Russian company in the world just to satisfy your fake Russia Council that's been going on for a year and it's been collapsing. Even if you hate Donald Trump, the Russia Council has been collapsing. I mean, it's not rocket science. Even if I hated Donald Trump and I was like, I hate him. I want to know the truth. I want him out. I'd be like, oh, wait, he went from colluding, him working with the Kremlin directly, to them hacking the emails. That never happened. They hacked the Vermont utility grid. That never happened. It's fallen so low that like 8 months into the Russia investigation, keep in mind, on the other side, they sold hundreds of millions of dollars of uranium used to make nuclear bombs to Russia, but that doesn't matter, because why would common sense, logic, and facts and comparison matter when you have an entire elite ruling class that uses the media to mind control everybody? Listening to dumb music, listening to dumb news. So it went from Trump colluded with Russia to, oh, they might have hacked, oh, they didn't hack, oh, and then they're like, oh, Donald Trump Jr. met with a Russian publicist of a Russian pop star. And everyone's like, oh my God, Trump's gonna get sacked soon. He's gonna be impeached. And I'm like, are you dum-dums? I don't care. I'll agree with you. Okay, for the record, okay, Trump is a terrible, bad person. You still don't realize how you're being controlled? It went from he's colluding with the Russians to Donald Trump Jr. might have met with a Russian publicist who's a manager of a pop star to now $50,000 worth of Facebook ads? Are you stupid? I don't care if you hate Donald Trump. That's fine. Hate him in a smart way. Dislike him in a productive way. Going from he colluded with the Kremlin directly to Facebook spent $50,000 worth of ads with a Russian company. I worked for Russians. I worked at a sports complex owned by Russians, and they spent $100,000 worth of Facebook ads. Ah! Oh my God! Russians spent $100,000 worth of Facebook ads. Who would have fucking known? Why doesn't he release the data of how much money Russians spend on Facebook ads? I'm sure they spend tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, on Facebook ads every year. Because that's what they fucking do. That's what companies do in Russia. That's what companies do in China, if they even allow Facebook, who knows? That's what companies do in United States. That's what companies do everywhere. No one talked about Russia ever until this election, and it's not because they hacked the election. Not only did Donald Trump win, Hillary wanted to start a war with Russia. Donald Trump wanted to work with Russia. So they lost, and they're trying to start that war anyway. They don't care about you. They don't care about freedom. They don't care about democracy. They want complete control of information. It's frustrating them every day that they can't do anything about it. They put out a Morgan Freeman propaganda ad saying, "We're being attacked. We're at war. I'm reading this script. Please pay me $10 million and please promote my new movie." And you search it on YouTube, and the first two ones that come up are Mark Dice and Paul Joseph Watson, who have 20, 30,000 up likes and less than 1,000 dislikes. The original Morgan Freeman video has 150,000 views, and it has 4,000 dislikes and like 600 up likes. They can't win. We're winning. And I say we, I consider good progressives, left-leaning or right-leaning, anybody that's fighting the good fight for truth in some form, we're winning even though they're stealing everything from us. They steal our taxes every year. That's fine. Okay, take my taxes. Take this, take that. Take the media. All we have is the internet, and they're trying to steal that. Google demonetizes everybody's videos. People like Paul Joseph Watson on the right or Jimmy Dore on the left, they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars from YouTube. Now they make $0. They stole all the money away. Now when I take this video and I upload it to YouTube, my videos get flagged before they even upload. They have AI computer systems scan the videos, and they're like, "Oh, he said Trump, it's demonetized. Oh, he said Hillary, it's demonetized. Oh, he said Russia, it's demonetized." They stole all the money away from content creators. They are going from, "Hey, it's a free internet, you can make money," to, "Hey, you can say what you want, you can tell the truth, but you can't make any money. We can make billions of dollars lying, but you can't make a single dollar telling the truth." So that's what's happening already. Google's already censoring people. Google's done. Facebook is done. Nothing about Google or Facebook's free anymore. It's done. They've stolen that. You might not realize if you're an average user, you're like, "Oh, I like Google, so do I." You know, everyone has a Gmail account, everyone uses Google, everyone uses YouTube. But as far as the corporations and the elites and the politicians and the people who control the world, Google's so far gone. They've stolen all of the money from content creators. YouTube was made for an independent content creation system. People uploading videos of cats and rapping and dogs and having fun. That's what YouTube literally was when it was made. It was not an elite system to fucking pump propaganda out. It was a unique individual content creation system. That's literally the foundations of YouTube. It got bought out by Google. Google got sold out to the elites. And now no person can make money off of YouTube. Nobody. They're taking money away from everybody. That's happening now. So you ask, "Oh, there's going to be censorship?" There already is. I just don't complain about it because I put up my donation link. People have been very helpful. So screw Google. Okay, you steal that money, I'll get more money. Luckily, I have other ways. So they've taken all the money away. Now they're coming at Facebook because Twitter's already sold out to the nines. I mean, look at Twitter. Certain hashtags get all these friendly little dancing emojis and stuff, and certain people get shadow banned. Red Pill Black says the truth. She gets her tweet taken down. So Twitter's already sold out. You think it's free. Freedom's being taken away every day. Now all we have is Facebook, and Facebook's already sold out. That's the funny part. They're attacking Facebook even though Facebook, the whole news section is basically propaganda 24/7. And I know it's hard for people to be like, "Man, so you're like going against like, you know, a lot of things like, you know, like, yeah, I mean, I didn't ask Twitter to lie every day. I didn't ask YouTube to steal the money from people. I didn't ask Facebook to lie every day. I didn't ask New York Times and Washington Post and CNN and NBC to lie every day." But that's the reality. I mean, if you want to live in this fake bubble where you're never happy and you're always wanting more things and you're always buying these things that they sell you, "Oh, buy this, buy that, buy that, buy this, buy that. Go here, go there." You'll never be happy. That's the lie. That's the lie that everybody believes. So, yes, I am going against a lot of the grain because it's a lie. That's just what the truth is. So Facebook's already sold out. But that's not enough for them. They have to attack Mark Zuckerberg because, one, he might run for president, so they have to start now. They're trying to implant into people's brains, Mark Zuckerberg, bad guy, Mark Zuckerberg. And a lot of conservatives and libertarians dislike him too. I'm not saying he's the most trustworthy person. I know his past. I've been very critical of it. But I watch actions. Once again, I see even conservatives and libertarians jumping on the Mark Zuckerberg hate train. I watch actions. I trust Mark Zuckerberg because he held out longer than anyone else has held out. People don't even hold out. They're like, here, take all my stuff. Mark Zuckerberg held out for weeks. He's like, bro, this is my website. This is my company. This is my data. If the Russians hacked my website, I would tell you, but you're lying. Mark Zuckerberg called them out. He was like, there's no interference. He got guilted into doing the Russia Council thing, and it's going to come back to bite him. Just like it's going to come back to bite Morgan Freeman, just like it's going to come back to bite any of these celebrities with their failing Emmys and their failing VMAs that aren't getting any views, and they're going to go down and down and down and down and down because these people are delusional and they know how to point the finger at everybody else, but they don't know how to self-reflect and point the finger at themselves and realize they are the liar. They are the person that no one else likes. That's the key to many spiritualities is self-reflection and, doing what you can do, being the change you want to be in the world. And that's the opposite of what they're all doing nowadays. They're like, it's everyone else but myself. They will literally, that's why I get so aggressive, because I can see the future, I can foresee. They'll literally destroy the whole world. They'll destroy America if they continue this strategy. It's a losing strategy. They're lying about everything. They're making our relations worse with Russia. They're ramping up the war with North Korea. They're making fun of Donald Trump. They're attacking Americans. They're attacking free speech. They want total control of the internet. And they want total control of the flow of information. And they don't like the fact that people say things that they don't want them to say. What do you think is going to happen if they continue doing this? Even if you hate Donald Trump, do you think that's a winning strategy? Pointing the finger at everybody else? Screaming and crying and throwing fits when you're the one selling weapons to the whole world and you're the ones influencing a lot of wars around the world? Do you think that's a winning strategy? Do you think Donald Trump started that? Do you really think that? Because it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. If this continues, the mass finger pointing, it was Facebook, it was Russia, it was this person, it was that person, let's investigate this, that. The whole country and the whole world is going to get torn down. We need a better strategy. Meanwhile, the last week, Obama administration, after the head of the intelligence agencies, after CNN, MSNBC, made fun of Donald Trump for a whole year for saying that the Obama administration was wiretapping Trump Tower. They laughed at him. They joked about him. The head of the intelligence agency said it never happened. It's now an official fact that it 100% happened. Just like he says Russia hoax, he's 100% right because it is a complete hoax. Just like he says climate change hoax, I'm not saying that the climate is not shifting, but you have to understand politicians have been paying scientists and only letting scientists say one thing. Just like they want to control the flow of information, how do you get real science? You get it by getting the best scientists from all sides and having scientific conversations. Not by paying 97% of scientists to agree with you and not allowing them to get paid if they don't agree with you. That's the same thing as the media. Oh, Trevor Noah. Oh, Stephen Colbert. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Kimmel. Here, take tens of millions of dollars, sure, because you'll say what we want you to say. Oh, Anomaly. Oh, Anomaly's going to tell the truth and help people and uplift people and make people healthier and, have a real conversation to really help people at the border, really help people with travel security and really, mend the gap between the delusion. They don't want to pay me. They're stealing my money. So they're dishing all the money out to Trevor Noah and Jimmy Kimmel. Of course, they're going to get paid because they agree with what they want them to say. I heard recently Jay Leno, not that I'm even a huge fan of him, I could really care less about Jay Leno, no offense, but he was the only late night host critiquing Obama. After 4 or 5 years, he made some Obama jokes. Now he's off the air. They're like, okay, we're going to replace you with someone who agrees with us. So they're stealing the money from people telling the truth. They're stealing the money from people who want to have a real honest conversation, and they're dishing that money back out to these BS fake comedy hosts who will say exactly what they want them to say. And if they don't, for whatever reason, if Jimmy Kimmel came out and was like, hey, you know what? I've done some research and I think the travel ban might not be a bad idea. I think we could tweak it, but I've looked at certain parts of the Middle East and we might want a temporary solution before we figure out what's going on there. And he's like, hey, you know what? I'm down to like have a conversation about, you know, what's going on at the border. You know, hey man, the media's like, if Jimmy Kimmel ever said that, he wouldn't be on television. None of these people would. On CNN, if you're like, hey, you know, this, that, they like bleep you out. Like out of a movie. It's like, boop. They're like, oh, the TV gremlins got him. Who would have thought the TV gremlins? They just, you know. Or they'll be like, hello, Bernie Sanders? Oh. They're like, man, it's just, I'm sorry, but it buzzed out. Be like, randomly, you know, we got multi-billion-dollar corporation, but the feed must have just magically went out when you were saying things we didn't want you to say. So that's the story here today. Mark Zuckerberg, guilted, forced into playing this little Russia Council game, but I know that Mark Zuckerberg's just doing it to satisfy them. Mark Zuckerberg has the long game. Don't hate on him. Watch his actions. I really think not only has he provided me with an incredible platform, but he's outside of that group and he already has a lot of power. They're going to try to take it, of course, but this Russia Facebook ad is anybody who works in advertising, anybody who works in Facebook and knows how many billions upon billions of dollars get funneled into advertising about all sorts of things. It's ridiculous that this Russia story has fallen so far and they're still doing it. It's getting downvoted all over the place. That's the story here. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to put my donation link below. Like I said, now my YouTube videos, they get flagged before they even come up. It's like, oh, you can't make money, you can't make money. So the donations have been incredibly helpful, and I'm going to launch a shirt line soon. I'm going to try to write a book, and hopefully I just got on with this agency. They didn't even make me sign any papers, but they are willing to shop me to universities and, you know, places that people talk, so I could get paid for doing keynote speaking and spirituality or politics or life or whatever. So I'm going to keep trying to make revenue so I can keep building the movement. And you know, the donations have been ridiculously, incredibly helpful. People are very generous, very kind, and I'm forever grateful for that. So I'll continue to stand up, tell the truth, try to get both sides to communicate, show love, you know, show self-reflection and self-awareness, as well as, you know, live my life and do other things. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to keep working hard for you, and have a great week. I'm going to put my link below. Thanks for listening.